And the one thing is important that they contain, although this is never greater than 1.5%, that is the percentage of carbon can never be greater than 1.5% in carbon steels. Hello guys, I am engineer Mohammad Adnan Khan and you are watching my YouTube channel Civology. In this video lecture, we will discuss about the types of steel. As we know that there are different types, or steel can be classified in different ways, but today we are going to discuss its classification on the basis of its components or its composition, which can mainly be defined as carbon steel, stainless steel and alloyed steel. The main focus of this video would be on carbon steel. As stainless steel I have discussed in one of my previous videos, the link of which is given in the description, and alloyed steel will be discussed in my upcoming lectures. Moreover, we will discuss the uses of carbon steel, where carbon steel can be used and what are its advantages and what are its uses. The interesting facts about heating and cooling of steel. I mean, if we suddenly cool down or suddenly raise the temperature of a steel, what differences can occur in a steel. Let's discuss these things one by one in upcoming slides. But before we start our today's topic, if you are new to my channel, you are requested to please subscribe it and don't forget to press the bell icon to get video updates. Let's start today's topic. As you know that steels are metal alloys. As you can see over here, steels are metal alloys in which iron is mixed with carbon and other elements. Now these things are important to learn, that metal alloys, steels are actually metals alloys in which iron is the main constituent of the steel, and carbon and other elements are added. Steels are described as medium, mild, you can say mild, medium or high carbon steels according to the percentage of carbon they contain. Now this classification is based on the composition or percentage of the other elements the steel contains, which is mainly carbon in carbon steel. And the one thing is important that they contain, although this is never greater than 1.5%, that is the percentage of carbon can never be greater than 1.5% in carbon steels, which can mainly be classified as mild carbon steel, medium carbon steel or high carbon steels. Adding metals such as nickel, chromium, tungsten or to iron produces a wide range of alloy steels including stainless steel. In my previous video I have discussion about what is stainless steel, its uses. Watch that video as well. Now if we talk about the percentages of carbon in a steel, that is in mild steel it is up to 0.35%, and in medium carbon steel it is from 0.3% to 0.55%, and high carbon steel contain the highest percentage, that is 0.55% to 1.50%. Now again the composition or content of carbon in a steel should not be greater than 1.5%. The properties of steel are closely linked to its composition, as I mentioned in the previous slide. For example, there is a big difference in hardness between the steel in drinks, as you can see, drink cans or drink bottles, and the steel that is used to make a pair of scissors. Now, both are made up of steel, but the constituent, which is carbon, which is present in high percentage in a steel, plays an important role. The metal in the scissor contain nearly 20 times as much as carbon as in many times harder. It's mean that as the composition or as the percentage of carbon increases, it makes the element or steel more brittle. Now the steel which is used for making of a scissor contains 20 times more carbon than the steel cans. You are getting my point, right? Now what are the effects of heat treatment if given to a steel? Effect is properties, as you can see over here, that cooling a red hot steel rapidly, that is rapidly cooling a red hot steel rapidly in cold water it makes it harder and more brittle. That is, if a red hot steel suddenly cool down in a cold water, it will make the steel harder and brittle. There, if we could have made the same piece of metal softer by keeping it at red hot for longer time and then cooling it slowly. As you can see, the metal would be softer as compared to the previous one. Heat treatment is another method that the steel maker uses to make the properties of steel match the job it has to do. It means that either the steel maker want to make the steel brittle or softer. He can use the heat treatment. Now talking about the tensile strengths of carbon steel, according as with respect to their carbon percentages and their uses, mild steel, as we can see over here, mild steel, the carbon percentage is up to 0.35%, but if we lessen the percentage of carbon, that is from 0.1 to 0.18, it is used in galvanized sheets, as you can say, GI sheets you can say, and its tensile strength is 400 to 450. The next one use of mild steel is steel plates. It can be used in steel plates having tensile strength of 450 to 500 megapascal. And if we use the carbon content in mild steel 0.25 to 0.35, it gives the tensile strength of 500 to 600, and it can be used in crankshafts. Okay, now coming towards the medium carbon steel, its composition is 0.35 to 0.45, gives the strength of 600 to 700, and it can be used in gear wheels. Okay, and the 0.45 to 0.55, the maximum range of carbon in medium carbon steel is 0.55, and it gives the strength of 700 to 800, and it can be used in gun parts. Okay, the parts of gun, pistol, or you can say another tool for safety. High carbon steel, has the percentage of 1.5, that is maximum percentage is 1.5%. It gives the strength of 950 to 1100 megapascal, and it can be used, as you can see, our hammers and chisels, that is crusher rollers.